Welcome to Click Lounge. I'm your host, Rina Gill. I'm here with my co-hosts, Mandeep and Pardeep, and today we're going to chat about weddings. That's going to be our hot topic for today. We're going to talk about all the fun adventures we've had over the summer attending weddings. So ladies, let's get into it. Let's talk about, how many weddings have you gone to this summer?
I've only been to one wedding this summer.
Really?
My brother's wedding's coming up, so super stressful.
Exciting.
And I've been planning that. Although they have a planner, they have a team of planners, but you know, all the responsibility falls on the sister.
Of course.
So, planning, of course.
Responsible sister?
I still can't believe I've been to one wedding being Indian. I've been to like a gazillion, and I'm just last week I was like, oh man, please God.
Enough is enough.
Be over.
I think part of the issue with South Asian weddings in particular are all the pre-wedding parties that lead up to the actual wedding and reception. As far as I remember, there used to be maybe one or two. Now it's like a week-long event-filled adventure. So I don't know, does that take away from the actual main ceremony and reception, or do you think it adds to the fun?
I think, sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I personally think that during wedding season, there are these massive like parties, like you start on Monday and the wedding doesn't fall on Saturday or Sunday. To be honest, I get super tired by the wedding. And I usually, this is going to sound horrible because I'm sure these lovely people who've invited me to their weddings are watching.
Maybe that's why you went to one.
I get so tired of your pre-wedding events that I don't make it to your wedding. I'm sorry. I just get too tired. I can start partying on maybe like a Thursday, Friday, but starting on Monday and then having Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
back
Friday,
to back.
And then a Saturday wedding, and by the reception, I'm done. I sleep through the reception, and I can't even bother to like try to get up after the week long of celebrating. So
I don't know, I work opposite. So I figure like I mean unless it's a close wedding and I'll go to everything, like, you know, the manya, the mendi. But I feel like if it's like a, you know, a gone, like a distant person, then I'll be like, I'll skip the manya and I'll
you're selective.
the mendi, and I'll go to the wedding and the reception.
That's
and then I'll party it out like a rock star.
I don't mind going to the weddings. I feel like that's the wedding part and you want to see that, but I really dislike going to receptions. I do not find them fun. I feel like you're sitting there and you don't know half the people. So weddings, don't mind. I'll kind of pop in and out. Receptions, not happening.
Well, I feel like reception is actually the main party.
Yeah.
Is it not? And what ends up happening is going through the week-long pre-wedding festivities, people, let's face it, our community likes to drink. People in general like to drink. So by the time the actual party comes, the reception, they're hungover, they're sick. And we all know about the family drama as well. There's probably a few fights that have happened along the way and the people aren't talking to each other.
Let's not forget about the feet. I know personally at my wedding, which was one of those week-long events, my closest friends, the night of the reception, they're like, man, we're like capping out. Like, our feet are done, we're done.
Because we wear the fancy heels.
Yeah, so you're done. But, you know, whatever. I mean, Indian weddings are fun. I mean, they're big, they're boisterous. I mean, yeah, there's people you don't know, there's people you know, but I mean, it's kind of the fun of it.
Now, talking about big Indian weddings, what about the money that goes into the festivities? Do you ladies feel like that money could be used towards something more productive, as in like a down payment of the house, or do you think it warrants, when there's two big families coming together and they want to celebrate this wonderful occasion, do you think spending the big bucks is warranted?
Well, when a couple's spending the money, I mean, it's their choice on what they want to spend their money on. If I personally had to pay for my own wedding, I probably would have scaled it down a lot more. But
very honest, Pardeep.
Yeah, and I probably would have had 100 people there. So, and that would have been like a small, intimate affair. That's all that I would want to spend the money on. But now, on my parents' and my in-law side, they want this big, like, big Indian wedding. It's their money. They want to go above and beyond and have acrobats and like crazy cake tables. It's all on them.
That's very cool.
It's their money. I still expected a little help with my down payment, but I mean,
greedy person over here.
The wedding wasn't really, I mean, the wedding part, there were a few things that I wanted, and I know it was for me, but overall, the ceremony, the parties, that was more for my parents. I don't think that half the people that came to my wedding even knew who I was. So, I mean, they want to spend the money, you know. Parents, if you want to spend the money, go ahead, but help your kids with the down payment.
You know, I see this differently. Like, personally for myself, we have a large I mean, my family's quite, we know a lot of people. I know a lot of people, so I knew I always wanted this big wedding, and I wanted to spend the money, but I luckily didn't have to pay for my wedding, and my parents and our in-laws paid for our wedding, which was fabulous. I thank them for it. If I had to do it myself, I'd probably still do the same thing. Yes, we spent a ton of money, but I mean, it was for something that I guess we all wanted. My parents wanted it, I wanted it, and it was more just to celebrate. We did invite people that we knew, even though we had 800 people there. There were some I didn't, but it was sort of what we wanted. I think I also have friends who don't want that. You know, they wanna still spend maybe the same amount of money, but scale it back and have something more intimate. But yes, I think, did we spend too much money in the wedding? Yes. Did after the wedding, I think, damn, I spent that much money. I could have put that on a down payment.
Exactly.
I could have bought a car, right? So yes, you think about it after, but when you're in the process, you get caught up in it. You don't think about it.
So based on who's spending the money, do you think they should be able to dictate the actual planning of the wedding? For example, if I'm paying for my wedding and I want to do a destination wedding, because those are very hot nowadays, it's very selective, right? The guest list of who is actually going to be coming. So, but with parents and families nowadays, they want to invite their bandus, they want to invite people that they work with, as you were saying, Pardeep, people that we wouldn't necessarily know of. So do you think who's paying for the wedding will dictate the guest list and the actual planning process of the wedding? Do you think that's fair?
I mean, yes and no. My wedding was a learning experience. I was the first one to get married in my family, and my parents wanted to invite. I got everything I wanted. My only regret is that I wasn't a bigger bridezilla for my wedding. I would go back and just try to be a bigger bride. I would be a bigger bridezilla. I think I was at like a level 7. I would be like a 12. But for my brother's wedding, it's been a learning experience. We're not inviting the same amount of people. We're not having all of the crazy pre-wedding parties. We're doing something a little bit more simple. It's more in line with what my brother wants. He and his fiance are both getting everything they want. It is at the expense of the parents, but that's what they want to do. They want to throw this dream wedding. So I mean, if there's something they absolutely want, like entertainment, they're set on having like little kids dance, and my brother hates that. So he said, I don't want it, but they're saying we're paying for the wedding, so we must have it.
Throw that card down. Yep.
But at the end, they compromised and they said, no, we'll just, it's totally something you don't want. We don't have to have that at the wedding. So it depends. I think it's dependent on what you want. Like if you say to your parents, I don't want more than 100 guests there, but I want you to spend that same amount of money and none of your friends are invited, but you're footing the bill, that's a little bit different.
I think it just depends on like the type of relationship and the type of conversation you have with your parents. Like when we planned our wedding recent, it was just sit down with the parents. Okay, what's our budget? Who's paying for it? Okay, this is mom, dad, what I envision for a wedding. What do you guys want? And we just worked together and we made something work that worked for me, worked for my family, and worked for my hubby and his family. And we made it work. And at the end of the day, it was actually what I wanted because they were all happy with my idea. So it worked out for me. But, I have friends who, a lot of the dictation is done by the parents because they're footing the bill. And I think that's fair.
So I think a lot of girls growing up, they do envision this big dream wedding and the nice ring, which leads me to our next hot topic. A lot of the expense that goes into a wedding is quite often the female's ring. Ladies, do you want to show us your...
Well, you have to bring that up today. I forgot to wear it. I am guilty, and I'm sorry, Harm Rai, my husband. But like, I don't wear my ring all the time because when I work out, I take it off.
Right.
Like, when I wash dishes, I take it off. So like today, I forgot to put it on.
I never wear my ring.
But I love my ring.
I never
because
it's just
too heavy.
I mean, I love my ring, but
it's beautiful.
It's just, I really don't like wearing it. I don't like wearing my wedding band. I feel, especially in the summer, in the wintertime, fall, I'll wear it. It's not, it doesn't feel like it's like weighing down my finger, but in the summertime, I just don't like wearing anything in my hands.
So you ladies just ruined my hot topic because my whole idea was to talk about how Indian men do not wear wedding rings.
Well, actually,
because I find that's quite common, and I was going to ask you guys about that.
To say this, like I have friends who wear their wedding ring all the time. I always get called out on not wearing mine all the time, although I love it. It's just a matter of like, I leave it places and it's not insured yet, you know what I mean? But I have friends who wear it all the time.
Right.
And I have guy friends who actually wear their wedding band all the time.
Really?
Except for people, when they go to their job, like I know police officers and such, they don't normally wear jewelry when they go to work, so they'll wear it when they go out. So there's those instances. So now are you talking about guys who like just don't want to wear a wedding band because they don't want to appear to be committed?
It's hard to know, though. It's
So
hard to
my
tell
husband
what
works
the,
in
you know?
law enforcement. He won't wear his wedding ring on his left hand. He wears it on his right hand. And now it's almost a force of habit. So he wears his wedding ring, but on his right hand. And I just most of the time forget to wear it. It's sitting in a safety deposit box. I take it out when I have to, absolutely I'm going to someone else's wedding or I'm going somewhere and I want to wear it, but usually I don't wear it. I mean, I'm married.
But were you ladies gung-ho on receiving a nice ring? That's exactly the point I'm coming to, right? It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, I never even went ring shopping. My husband did it all on his own.
Oh,
he did very well. But when it comes to guys wearing their ring, I feel like guys are more, like, think about us. Like, I say, hey, when I go to the gym, I take it off. Or when I wash dishes, I don't want to have it on because I feel like I'm going to ruin it, you know? So I think for guys, like some guys, they don't want to scratch it up or whatever. They're like, oh, we're going to the gym. Or law enforcement. My husband works in law enforcement as well, and he doesn't wear it to work, but he'll wear it when he goes out. So now I'm asking you, like, are you talking about guys who just don't wear their ring because they're like, oh, it's not for us, or they don't want to appear to be committed?
It's hard to tell, right? Because when you see people out and about and they're not wearing a wedding ring, you assume that, because in this day and age, I mean, it can go either way, but you just don't know what the backstory is. But what about having a tattoo instead of a ring? Why not that? That way it shows everyone you're committed and you don't have the hassle of wearing your wedding ring each and every day.
That is actually a very genius idea, Rina Gill. I never even thought about that.
I love the idea, but I've seen so many people who get them and then, like, God
what
forbid,
happens?
you get divorced. And then what do? You get the tattoo removed, and it's really painful to get a tattoo on your fingers. So imagine how painful that's going to be when you get it removed.
But do you also think it's a cultural thing? Because I find like a lot of my Caucasian guy friends, they will always wear their rings.
Exactly.
Especially the older generation of like Caucasian men, they will always be wearing their wedding rings.
Is it a cultural thing in our community?
I think it's a cultural thing. I think we're fairly new to this.
Did somebody say it's not cool?
I would have to disagree. I have a lot of friends that both like Indian and Caucasian and other nationalities, and I don't think out of all of my friends, I mean, I don't wear my engagement ring much anymore. I wear my wedding band if I do go out, but most of my friends don't wear their rings at all either. I think it's just that mind frame. I mean, if you're purposely leaving your ring at home and you're thinking, I'm going out, I'm going to try to pick someone up and I don't want them to know I'm married, that's a different thing. When you're
that's
not
another
wearing
hot
it.
topic.
Yeah, but if it's just because you prefer not to wear it, like I will not wear my rings in the summertime. Even like this necklace around my neck is like weighing me down. It's like too hot. I can't do it.
Yeah.
But come fall, I will have those, you know, sparkles on my fingers, and I like to jazz it up. But I don't necessarily think it's a cultural thing. I think, I mean, if anything, I would think the Indian people would wear more so, since we love our like baubles and our gems and our jewels.
I think what I was talking about was like cultural traditions. So for example, like in more the Caucasian and the Christian community, the ring being the symbol that it buries is more significant in that culture and that religion than it is in ours.
Oh yeah,
right? So I think
that,
symbolically, traditionally, in terms of years coming down, years and years, it's been something that's so a part of their culture, where it's not so much a part of our culture.
I mean, with like traditional like Caucasian families, they will pass a ring down generations, and then it means something. For us, we're like, no, we worked hard for this. We're getting buried in this ring. Like, we don't want people to. We don't pass our rings down or pass our jewelry down. Really,
it doesn't hold that same symbolic significance. It's not as embedded as it is in those cultures. So maybe that has something to do with it.
But I think this generation's a little bit different. I think people our age would be a bit more symbolically attached to their rings. So, I mean, maybe it'll change.
Have you seen anyone as of late getting an Indian gold wedding ring?
I've never seen that.
No, but I do know of guys who want their ring to be just as fancy and schmancy as their women. And I've seen some guys with some pretty crazy blinged out wedding bands. So I don't know, maybe guys are now
I think it's kind of cool when a man is just as into getting a crazy wedding ring like the female is. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it ain't so good on our pocket though. So let's just keep it on a simple band.
But come on, ladies, if they're dishing out the money for your nice big wedding ring, you should do the same for them, don't you think?
No.
No, exactly.
Pardeep.
Even after our wedding, pockets are pretty empty. So let's just.
So we've discussed this wedding industry is massive, absolutely massive, especially in Vancouver. We have seen some pretty big weddings lately, and there's a lot of vendors in the business. And there's actually a lot of wedding shows happening and wedding award shows coming up in the fall that we want to fill you in on. So Pardeep launched the South Asian Wedding Awards last fall, and it was well received by the community. And there's another show coming up this fall. So Pardeep, fill us in.
Sure. The South Asian Wedding Awards was, well, last year I held the first ever South Asian Wedding Awards. There have been other awards in the wedding industry, the BC Wedding Awards, online, there's the Wedding Expert Awards, but there isn't really anything for the South Asian community. And considering that a lot of mainstream vendors are going a bit more South Asian and trying to cater to South Asian weddings, I thought, what better way to award these amazing like photographers, videographers, makeup, hair artists that are spending so many hours honing their craft and working on these big fat Indian weddings. So that's where the South Asian Wedding Awards came in. This year we're doing them again. We'll be posting more information about when the awards are and where they're going to be very soon, but I'm excited. It's picking up momentum. I really think it's important for people to get rewarded and recognized for the work that they're doing. And the wedding industry, so many people are discouraged to enter that by, I mean, being South Asian, we value professions like lawyer, doctor, accountant. We don't really think makeup artist, hair artist.
It's a money-making industry for sure.
It's a recession-proof industry. I mean, if I could go back and do it all over again, I would be good at something in the wedding industry.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
definitely be doing them again this year, and then hopefully taking them across Canada next year.
And what about some of the categories?
Some of the categories, we have best wedding hair, best wedding makeup, best bridal jewelry, best wedding ring design, best venue, best catering, what else? Oh, best Indian clothing, best groomswear, lots of categories. Everything you can think of, florists, decorators, home decor, reception decor.
And just to clarify the nomination process, if you can tell our viewers about that.
If you're a vendor and you want to enter the South Asian Wedding Awards, you actually nominate yourself. There's an online nomination form. You fill out the form, you submit a submission fee, and then there are a panel of expert judges who are going to be viewing all the submissions, and they will, now it's all like secretive, they don't know who's submitting, so if I'm a wedding vendor, I don't put my name on any of my submissions.
Right.
On what the judges are going to be judging, and then the judges blindly go and look at your submission, and they will decide who's the winner.
So we are going to do a special feature in the next issue of Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle magazine with all the details about the upcoming South Asian Wedding Awards show. Now, Mandeep, when you were planning your wedding, did you attend any of the local wedding shows?
I did. I attended one, and you know what? They are actually very helpful. So the fact that you're having, you know, the Love Ishq Pyar show, it's really helpful to, you know, girls who are not so maybe in tune with sort of what the new trends are, what's out there in terms of fashion and jewelry and decor. So I think these wedding shows are very, very helpful. And I just want to say, Pardeep, like people last year that attended the awards, they also said it was a fabulous, fun evening.
Definitely.
And I missed out, so I'm not going to miss out this year. And for all the brides, I personally, like being a newer bride, I do encourage you to go to these wedding shows. I know Love Ishq Pyar is coming up, just because it gives you kind of like a sense of who's out there and what's out there and what's happening. And it really helps sort of with the wedding process and honing your own themes and things into it.
I like the fact that all the vendors are under one roof at one time. It's so time consuming, as we all know, to go around and meet with people and get quotes and basically compile all the information and make decisions, but to actually go to one event and be able to meet with various vendors. And some of them are the cream of the crop in the community who've been around for many years, veterans. Some are the newbies that are out there who I believe deserve a chance as well to come out there. So even if you don't have a huge advertising budget, being at these wedding trade shows, it actually gives you access to bride and grooms or engaged couples. So it's actually quite ideal. So the Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle Show, folks, is coming up on Sunday, October 5th at Aria Banquet Hall. It's a beautiful venue. It just opened up this spring, so please do come check it out. There'll be more information on loveishqpyar.com. So ladies, I know we have a lot more to talk about when it comes to the weddings. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Any funny stories of any of the weddings that you've gone to, say, in the last couple years?
Not really. I don't attend many weddings.
I have one story. We're very strategic in what we wear when going to different functions. So my cousins are going to hate me for mentioning this, but we actually had in the family a family wedding of two sisters a month apart. So basically all of us, we partied it up and then we saw the exact same people a month later and we had to get so many outfits. We couldn't recycle anything. Like, I mean, we're talking about the pre-wedding parties. We're talking about everything. Like literally 7 outfits and 7 outfits. So it's quite tough that when you have all these parties to go to and you're seeing the same people, how do you mix it up? You can't even like, we can't even like trade.
Well, that's the 2 sisters. So I guess it was like a bit of a different story. But I also find, depending on whose wedding I go to, I'll make an effort or more of an effort. And I find that everybody in my circle does the same thing. If we know blah, blah, blah is getting married and somebody else is getting married, like, that's somebody else's wedding, people will be more jazzed up. So we're going to jazz up more that wedding.
Yeah.
But just about Indian weddings in general, I just want to say, you know, just having had a wedding, that Indian weddings are freaking fabulous.
They are.
Honestly, you get the bling, you get the fun, you get the good music, you get the good food, it's non-stop, it's open bar. Honestly, nothing beats it. Big fat Indian weddings, love it.
So basically what we're going to do now, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with some vendors that are going to be at the Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle Show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Click Lounge. I'm here with Raj Bains, who is the owner of Glam5 Boutique. She's actually going to be at the Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle Show on October 5th, as well as our cover feature for the next Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle magazine. Thank you so much for joining us today, Raj.
Thank you so much for calling me in.
Very excited to have you here to talk about your beautiful fashions. We're actually going to have some of your models join us later, and we'll talk a little bit about their outfits. But firstly, let's talk about your passion for fashion and how you got into this industry.
Wow, that's gonna actually
be a long story.
That's gonna be a long story, but I'm gonna try and, you know, put it in a few words. Basically, my background is medical. I'm not professionally a fashion designer, but it's something that I'm gonna give this credit to my older sister.
Okay.
She's gonna listen to this, but I've picked it up from her. And I have seen her, I've seen her design her own clothing, and I tend to pick it up. And I was probably one of the most, you know, shabby looking girl if you were to look at my childhood. But as I grew up, I don't know, it just came naturally to me. And my sister, she's been our role model in every single thing. So I think pretty much music, fashion, education, we have followed her through. So thank you, Didi.
I'm a big sister as well. Big sisters are the best. I just like to go on record saying that.
Yes, no, absolutely. She's been incredible in guiding us. We are 3 sisters and 4 brothers, but thank you.
So the name Glam5 Boutique, where did that come from? What does it signify?
Oh, well, it just, you know, here I was one day thinking, I'm like, okay, I love to be glamorous. I am really big on being glamorous and yet simple. Right. So it was like, okay, I'll have to, you know, put it somehow in my company's name. So
what does the 5 represent?
Well, 5 is my birthday date.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes, and I totally love it. I mean,
it's your lucky number?
It's my lucky number. So I just thought it would be a great combination. So here I am, Glam5.
So we've got some of your outfits here for us to admire. Now, do you do party wear, bridal wear, both?
Absolutely. To begin with, I'm taking care of basically almost all the sides of fashion needs, like casuals, party wears, weddings. So basically anything and everything. Yeah.
And you do a lot of customization as well,
That's
right?
my forte. I don't carry a huge inventory, but custom order is my forte.
I see. Now, as far as this summer is concerned, and now we're going into fall, so we're transitioning, any idea of some of the, give us one of the upcoming trends or one of the trends that you've observed throughout the summer?
You know what? The pinks are coming back.
Oh, I love pink.
And to be honest, pink is my color. I just love pink, like especially the lighter shades.
Oh, okay.
No, the lighter shades.
Like baby pink.
The baby pinks, there is these different shades of pinks coming up, which were never seen before, and that's quite exciting. And I'm going to be actually bringing them out in my upcoming, you know, outfits that will be showcased in one of the fashion show. So yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
Now, how would you differentiate Glam5 Boutique's party wear, bridal wear from some of the other clothing lines out there?
Absolutely. I mean, they're all great, you know, absolutely doing marvelous job out there. But I think my clothing line represents more of a combination of traditional as well as contemporary, and I come up with something that's, you know, that's traditional, deep-rooted, but yet contemporary. So I don't want to leave my roots. This is one thing about me. I may be the most modern girl on the earth, but I will still be deep-rooted. So that's one thing I keep in my outfits and my designs. Well, everyone's different. You know, people come up with their own desires and their own, you know, how they image themselves.
Right.
You know, and so I try and create that look for them. But certainly the contemporary and traditional and staying casual but yet very elegant, that's my approach.
So I see you're still very summery and you pull it off very well. I'm already transitioning over to fall, folks. I just can't wait for fall to come. But tell us about your outfit.
Oh well, this was my dream. This was my overnight dream. I woke up in the morning and here it is. I've sketched it out and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna get done for myself. Summer is still in. You know, we're lucky to have such a nice stretch for summer. So I'm like, this is perfect.
It's a bit too hot for me, but okay.
You know, this is perfect. This is perfect.
This is very summery with the white and the light material.
Absolutely, and so comfortable. Like.
So there's tons of designers out there, Raj, like Hollywood designers, Bollywood designers. I mean, it really seems like there's a lot of different genres out there.
Yes.
Now, we all have our own kind of people that we idolize or look up to, and we want to produce work like them. So who would you say are some of your idols, both Hollywood and Bollywood?
I would say I have to be very frank and very truthful here. I haven't studied anybody. I haven't followed anybody. I just follow my own instinct. But yes, some of the people who inspire me, Manish Malhotra, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Best designers.
Definitely.
And Sabyasachi is now. So definitely I really, really admire their work, and you know, I see myself in the queue, you know, and I love their work and appreciate it. But ultimately it's my instinct. I really follow my instinct and my sister.
So basically it's your vision, and I guess, you know, if I were to come in and put in a customized order, basically we would work together to achieve that vision.
Absolutely, absolutely. I never force things. I sit down and I try and counsel, because obviously I have a little more understanding of colors and, you know, color schemes and whatnot. So I'm glad that my customers, they you know, they trust me on that, and then we sit down and on, you know, mutual grounds, wherever we both meet in the midway, or if they want just their way, absolutely fine as well, because you know, at the end of the day, they're the one who
they're the customer.
Yes, they're the customers, and they have to be happy in what they wear. How, you know, everyone's different.
That's right. It's hard to cater to different needs.
Absolutely.
And especially when someone comes in who probably their vision is not something that you necessarily agree with.
You know what?
It gets challenging, right?
It does. It does. But at the end of the day, I respect everybody's individuality. And I salute every human being. They're special in their own way. Trust me. Everybody has that star in them. That's what my belief is.
That's beautiful.
Yes. So I let them shine. You know, I let them, if they want to design their own outfit with me, just helping them, you know, for sure.
Well, we're going to see some Glam5 models shining shortly. We're going to have a look at some of their outfits, and Raj is going to give us some background information on how these outfits came to be. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. we're here with the beautiful Glam5 models, Parveen and Noor, and Raj is going to tell us about their outfits. Let's start with Parveen.
All right, so Parveen, you look gorgeous, my hun. Okay, so this is a beautiful, beautiful champagne gold lehenga with a lot of detailing going on all across. Actually, this whole lehenga is filled with sippy work and pearl work. It's all hand done, by the way, and a lot of tedious effort goes into this kind of pieces. And velvet blouse, just the blue just brings out this gold way too much. I just love this combination. And so yeah, it's just an incredible piece, and a little bit of burgundy. It just, you know, all these three colors wrap up so nicely together.
Definitely a nice combination.
It's a beautiful combination, and it looks ravishing with those pearls. And these are little small flower details that we decided to give, and you know, just to pull the whole lehenga together.
This could easily be a reception outfit for sure.
Absolutely.
But when you're a bling bling party guest like myself, you could possibly wear this as well. So I do see some versatility there.
Exactly. You can pull it out, you know, whatever way you like to, but certainly reception, because I see these days brides more and more, they're getting into golds, they're getting into whites. So I think this is an incredible piece to consider if you're looking for something in gold, but yet a little bit of color in there.
Right, a splash of
just
color.
Just a splash of color, because then that brings out your inner, you know, your beauty as well.
Of course.
Then you don't blend in the gold.
And what about the beautiful Noor?
Oh my lord, you look gorgeous, Noor. Okay, honey. So this is a bubblegum pink dupatta that we decided to pair up with red blouse and royal blue lehenga. It's Priyanka Chopra inspired.
Okay, okay.
So I totally love the way she, you know, wore it in I think it was, which movie was it? I can't remember clearly, but Lal Dupatta Ud Gaya.
Okay, yeah.
That kind of inspired me to create this look. But again, fabulous combination. Bubblegum pink, the red is underneath, but it looks gorgeous, these three colors together. Ari work going on the lehenga, and the bottom is all handwork. So kundan, dabka, pearl again. So altogether a perfect piece. This could be a party wear, this could be a semi-bridal, this could be a mehndi outfit. A lot of versatility.
Definitely.
A bride who wants to be a simple bride, this could be definitely a hit.
So Raj, these were basically your visions.
Yes.
The two designs.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now, if you are interested in checking out Glam5 Boutique Designs, they are going to be featured in the next issue of Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle magazine. It will be coming out very soon, and they're actually the cover feature. And they will be at the Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle show happening October 5th at Arya Banquet Hall. Now, why don't you tell us about your future vision, Raj? Where do you see Glam5 Boutique going in the future?
Well, certainly I have my goals very, very clear. Keeping in mind my family, my kids are they're the topmost priority, and they will remain. But I want to set standards in the home-based boutique business.
Right.
I do not want to step out in the market.
So no storefront?
No store.
Oh, okay.
No. So I want to create that, you know, that level of trust, even though I'm sitting at home. So definitely that's my mark to hit, to be a pioneer in the home-based boutique in terms of bridals and the party wears.
Well, you're definitely off to a good start.
Thank you.
If you want more information about Glam5 Boutique, you can hit them up on their Facebook page, and you will see them at the October 5th show. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies. We're actually going to be talking to Glamour Dolls right after this short break about the hair and makeup that was done on the Glam5 models. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Click Lounge. As promised, we're here with Glamour Dolls, and we're going to talk about the hair and makeup looks that were achieved with Parveen and Noor. So ladies, let's start off with Parveen.
Parveen here has a very nice, very detailed Arabic bun that has a lot of loop curls and a lot of details that some of the brides nowadays ask for, that they want a big bun with a lot of volume and a lot of details. So this is Parveen's look with an Arabic bun.
For makeup with Parveen, I actually had used a little bit of dazzling glitter so we can just kind of bring out those nice details of flower that we have at the bottom and some on the sleeve as well. And then I used a little bit of color, but still keeping it quite neutral on the eyes, whereas her lip was the main focus, and we did a nice kind of a berry red on her lips to kind of bring everything together, as well as, you know, just nice flawless skin, nice glow, which every bride would want to have and be very flawless at the same time.
Wonderful, Parveen. Thank you so much for joining us today. So now we can talk about Noor's hair and makeup.
So for Noor, her hair is again a nice bun that could be used for reception or for wedding. It's a very simple bun with very little detail on it. Some of our clients, they ask for very little details and you know, very nice sleek look, I would say. Yeah, pretty much it complements her dress because she has really nice bright, you know, colors. So very sleek and simple look.
For makeup for Noor, I decided to kind of keep it really simple and low-key, yet still having that really nice effect on the eyes, really big double stack lashes, really nice thick eyeliner, and just keeping the focus on the lips. I did wanted to kind of create a very traditional look, a little bit more elegant, and that's exactly what we have done, just because our outfit is quite colorful and I don't want the outfit and the makeup to clash. So that's kind of what we've done with her.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Noor. So now, ladies, let's talk about Glamour Dolls. Let's talk about how you got into the hair and makeup industry and what fueled your passion.
So it's an interesting, you know, field. Our background for both me and Isha is art, and we're very artistic to be born with it, I guess. Since childhood, we like to paint, we like to play with colors. We're very, you know, colors are something that, you know, interact with us. Something when it comes down to colors, it's more Isha. When it comes down to symmetry, you know, visualizing thing, putting it down towards a project, that would be me. So when Isha did her grade 12, she was very firm and she knew exactly that she wanted to go into hair and makeup. She did that for quite a few years by herself, and when she wanted to jump into it full time, that's when she needed a partner, and who else than a sister?
Of course! There's a theme with sisters today in today's episode, that sisters play a big role.
Definitely. I think it's the fact that, you know each other. It's also a good opportunity when you get to know each other even more. Right. I mean, understand even more. I mean, I am 10 years older than her. I have to put it in. but it's like our interactions are making way more sense. We visualize together, we do projects together. So, I mean, it's just something that we never saw it coming, but it's just an awesome, awesome, awesome project together.
Very nice.
Yes. Yeah.
And how about from the makeup perspective, Isha? This is obviously something you always knew that you wanted to do?
Well, I was always into painting and sketching, just like my sister said.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I just loved makeup. I was not allowed to wear makeup when I was younger, but finally in grade 12, I kind of broke that rule, started wearing it more often, and just fell in love with it, where to the point my friends were asking me to do their grad makeup, and I did my own for grad. Yeah. So just kind of the passion grew more and more. And when I went to school, it just, this was it. I loved it, and I wanted to keep on going at it. And even till this date, I'm still as passionate, 6 years, and I'm still going strong.
Absolutely amazing. So how did the name Glamour Dolls come about?
Yeah. I think for us, as girls or women, especially for our big events, especially like bridal, when we get married, we want to look like princess.
Definitely.
We want to look like dolls. And, a lot of us, we don't really get the opportunity to walk on the red carpet. And we still want to look that center of attention, the focal point. And I think for wedding day, everyone wants to look like glamour.
Of course.
So I think the whole name just came together for me. Glamour Dolls, glamorous.
I think when we sat together, we looked at quite a few different names, but we kept coming back to Glamour Dolls.
So that's a sign, obviously.
Definitely. And we never looked back.
So we were talking about the wedding industry here in Vancouver, how it's so big and it's getting bigger and bigger as each year goes by.
Definitely.
And I'm sure you ladies have been very busy with brides and bridal parties. So
Yeah.
I know that there's so much hard work and effort that goes into it. We were even talking about bridezillas earlier. You know, sometimes there's some difficult people to work with. But what has your experience been like for this past summer dealing with the bridal parties?
I would say a lot of, I don't know, it kind of warms me up when people come with their dream alive, where girls have seen this dream of looking a certain way of years. Like, for example, when I wanted to get, you know, for years when I was going to get married, I knew exactly what the color of my lehenga was going to be. And I did not budge on it. So the same way, girls are way more knowledgeable nowadays. They know products, they know styles, they come with pictures, they have their homework, research all done. So when they come with their outfits, when they come with their jewelry, it just warms you up. And so this year obviously has been, you know, crazy busy, waking up or not even sleeping, or waking up at 2 in the morning, being at the bride's house at 3, and not leaving until the bride's leaving, and you know, and a lot of other things. It's been crazy, but we have thoroughly enjoyed it, I would say.
Yeah, I think for a lot of things, brides are way more organized. There's so many planners out there that kind of keep them in check, and they are more organized. And like my sister said, they're much more knowledgeable, so they know what they want. There are very few that don't know what they want, and they trust our judgment on it. But a lot of times we see that excitement when they come to see us.
Right?
Yeah,
It
like
is,
during
definitely.
consultation, it's like they get so excited. They're showing us their kalire, their jewelry. They want our feedback, and we're like working through a whole, like, you know, unique look for them. It's just so much excitement. And you know, when we get to like dress rehearsal and stuff, they are so happy. And we always tell them that, you know what, this is just a dress rehearsal. Wait till the real day.
It only gets better.
Yeah.
It only gets
Yeah,
better.
so I don't think we've met any bridezilla as of yet. They've been very good. Yeah. They've been very good, and at the end of the day, like, they're organized, they know what they want. Dress rehearsals obviously help them to kind of calm down and be confident of what they're going to look like. And, you know, at the end of the day, when we're there at 2 in the morning, they might be a little bit nervous,
Right.
but they actually sit back and enjoy.
Love it.
Believe it or
They
not,
enjoy the experience.
Exactly.
So what are some of the hair trends that you have seen this past summer?
Okay, I would say that some people keep it low-key. They want it simple. Like we saw Noor's look. It was very simple, very little detail, but obviously the volume and everything like that. But some girls go all out, and they want to try
Even
newer
for the
looks.
morning? Even for the morning portion?
For the
where
morning-
it's pretty much covered most of the time?
Well,
Well,
it depends. Some girls are very all out, so they want flowers, they want a piece of jewelry in
okay.
there. Recently, just last weekend, we did a bride who had her pasa, tikka, nath, a whale on top of her chimney, flowers in the back, and a jewelry piece.
The works.
Yeah, and she literally spent a year just preparing for her wedding.
Yeah. She even got like the designers, you know, in and had the whole look going.
Definitely.
What about makeup trends?
For makeup, I think a lot of brides aren't actually stepping away from dark makeup, especially for the wedding day. They're going really simple, but you know how they love the old, like the very traditional kajal look.
Yes.
Lots of liner, double sack
I love
lashes.
that on brides. I actually think that if your guests are looking more done up than you are,
Yeah.
I actually think it takes away from the bride. So I feel like the bride, even if she's more of a simpler person on a day-to-day basis, I really feel that this is her opportunity to step it up.
And that's where lashes come in. Like literally, the way the lashes are applied, it's very important. Lashes can make someone's eyes look droopy and smaller.
Right.
Whereas if they're applied the right way, they can actually, it can complement the eyes and make them look much bigger. And same with like when we do, first of all, the wedding makeup, like on the wedding day, most brides, their skin is like the focal point. We need to make it like absolutely glowy, fresh, make them look awake, like they had 8 hours of sleep, enough water, everything.
Right.
It's all done with makeup. So lots
That's
of
amazing.
glow, very like, you know, contoured is obviously the Kim K. Everyone knows about
Every
it.
time I hear of contouring, I immediately think of
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. Yeah,
That's
totally.
Contoured, aka Kim K.
Yeah.
Exactly. Every bride that we've done this year, they want that intense contouring. They
right.
want that high cheekbones, very slim nose,
Yeah.
and just slim face. That's one of
yeah.
the requests. But whereas, you know what, like with makeup, they are keeping it quite simple, elegant, whereas reception, they go all out. So a lot of, I wouldn't say like there was a trend where last year a lot of people were doing a lot of glitter on their eyes.
Right.
They are still continuing with that, whereas it's just more minimum. It's just some more, it's used more of a highlight, like in the inner tear ductor, something like that, and it's more darker, smoky, and more mattified now. So still focused on the eyelashes, I'd still say. That never goes away. And obviously the thick brows are really in, as we all know.
Right.
So that's been the focal point for makeup for sure.
So as far as Glamour Dolls is concerned, do you find that you focus more on brides and bridal parties as far as your clientele, or do you because you mentioned grads earlier, Isha, like in general, do you have various clientele coming in to get their hair and makeup done?
We have a mix. We have a mix.
Wonderful.
Definitely a bulk of our clients are, it seems like it's growing towards more and more towards bridal, but definitely we have a good mix where we get a lot of like non-bridal, like a group of people that we're doing, or it could be when there's the graduation season, you know, group of friends are coming to get their makeup and hair done.
Prom,
I think it's a really good mix. And I don't want to limit ourselves only to bridal or only to non-bridal.
Right.
I think we need that variety, we need that mix, so yeah.
Another thing I would like to add is we've actually expanded so much where we're doing other ethnicities as well.
Oh, wow.
So we've done like people like from like Fiji or, you know, more, like Western, more Caucasian, there you go, sorry, Caucasian, and we've done commercials as well, so we're doing a lot of TV makeup as well, a lot of editorial, so we do like, we're experienced in everything and we're getting a lot of chance
good for your
to
portfolio
do.
for sure.
Exactly, we're not just sticking to South Indian.
Yeah, but it also gets your passion going. You don't want to stick to something and it becomes monotonous and you get, you know, you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
You want to evolve.
Definitely.
Exactly, and we get hired during Halloween, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's something interesting to add to your portfolio.
We've got a couple of
I'll keep that
clients.
in mind. Halloween's around the corner.
Definitely.
So as a whole, where do you see Glamour Dolls in the next few years? What's your future vision?
You know, we thought about quite a few things. I think we really like working with each other. So this year we had the opportunity where we could have gone for like a team 2 or, you know, because but then we really thought about it, like what's our focus? What do we want? Our focus is quality and to keep our name alive. If people are trusting us with looking at our work, we want to keep it that way. So I mean, we want to keep that quality going. That's very important. It has
Quality
to be
control.
like the quality control. Yeah, it has to be on.
Yeah.
And then in a few years, definitely growing and growing and growing, doing more and more, you know, just not limited to East Indian, but also other ethnicities.
Yeah.
Very smart.
And definitely, you
I
know,
think we don't even just want to go like more internationally. We want to do more bigger parties as well, like where we're doing more, like maybe we'll one day do celebrity weddings, for example. That'd be really,
That would be
really
nice.
cool. Yeah, I think that's what our aim is, not just go internationally, but where we want to, you know, do celebrity weddings. That would be really good, where we get to do more interactive stuff, or even, you know, do bigger commercials, for example, expanding in that sense as well. So our focus is not just one particular area.
Right.
We want to master the entire field.
So speaking of international, name a hair makeup artist out there, or it could be either hair or makeup.
I know
Not
which
too
one
many.
it is.
I would love to know who you look up to and who you idolize in the industry.
for hair, I love Dress Your Face. Their hair is amazing. I did one look that is very funky and edgy, is the new Frohawk buns.
I love that hair. I've yet to rock that, folks, so that's coming in
Definitely.
the near future.
And I was taken on spot by one of the clients. She showed me a look. She's like, "Can you do it?"
Yeah.
I stood there for about 5 minutes. I said, "Okay, I'll see what I can do."
Let me figure
And
this out.
let me figure this out. That girl had amazing amount of hair and
Very
length.
long and very
The
thick.
bun came out so amazingly beautiful. When we put the picture on Instagram, Dress Your Face went and liked it.
Very
and they said
nice.
They loved it.
Yeah, she
Your
commented.
heart must have stopped beating at
I
that
was
moment.
jumping.
Yeah, and she
amazing.
liked us
Joy,
on
yeah.
Facebook as well. One of our albums, she went and actually liked it, and I was just
Well, that's how
yeah.
you get exposure and make the right contacts in the industry.
Exactly.
So what
we
about
were just
makeup,
blessed.
Isha?
I actually have quite a few. I think so does she. She didn't mention another one that she follows. But for myself, I follow particularly 3. So yes, Dress Your Face is one of them. Another one is actually a UK brand, UK-based artist. His name is Gogh Designs.
Okay.
He's a very popular, especially in Europe. Like his he does tutorials online on YouTube, he does reviews, and it's right on the dot. Like, he's my mentor by far. Another one, sorry, I have 4. Another one is Candy Johnson. She's amazing artist. She's grown just like I have, and I'm still growing, so I love her to death. And the 4th one is a local one who is my mentor. She's actually a local, she's a creative leader for Blanche McDonald Curlicue store.
Okay.
Her name is Jaylene, and she is just amazing. Like, I've worked with her at Make Up Forever when there was a counter at the Bay, and I worked with her. I totally expanded. Like, my skills went from something you can say, you know, like a B grade to like A+. She is just that amazing, where she does everything. She does avant-garde, she does more of like stage show makeup, and as well as, like, she's amazing with Indian. So you put her on the spot, she knows what she's doing, and she's just amazing.
I love the fact that you have that quality about you, that you always seem to want to learn from others. I love
think
that.
It'll die down. If I think you won't enjoy what you're doing if you're gonna just, you know, keep doing the same, and
Or when you
you're gonna
finally
be like,
think
I've learned
that
it
I've
all.
arrived and I know everything and I'm an expert and I know. No, I
No.
love that fact, because you're right. In any industry that you're in, you always have to evolve and learn. Trends are always changing, and you basically, it's your promise to the customer when they're coming to you that you know what you're talking about, and you're going to make them look the best way possible.
Can I quickly add? I actually get nervous if I see something and I can't figure it out. If I see a hairstyle and if I can't figure it out right away, I get nervous and I can't sleep at night. So I have to go to my
passion is unmatched.
I have to go to my duty and I have to try it out until I attain it. So
I think the moment that you stop learning, or you get that maybe ego, I would say, where, oh, I am this, I know everything. I think that's the moment where you've stopped learning and you cannot evolve. You've pretty much
It's the turning
stopped.
point.
Yeah. It's a turning point. You won't learn anything more, and you won't keep up with the trend, for example. And that's the time you're like, okay, you need to move on to a different career.
You know, I've really enjoyed our interview today. This is the first time we've actually sat down and properly talked, and I hope to be working with you guys again in the future. And thank you so much for taking the time to work with Glam5 Boutique. The models looked fabulous. I know there's a lot of time and effort that gets put into that. You're tuning into Click Lounge. I'm here with Glamour Dolls, Isha and Nishi. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Click Lounge. I'm here with Amy Sahota. Some of you may remember her. She's been part of the Click Lounge family for many years now, and she's now an entrepreneur. She has her very own business, Bare Essential Skin Bar, in downtown Vancouver, and today she's going to give us some skin tips. And since the theme of the whole show has been about weddings and prepping your skin for brides and grooms, she's going to give us an idea with various products and services that are available to you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Amy.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So first and foremost, I don't think brides and grooms realize, or people in general realize, how important skincare is. So let's start off with the basics.
Okay, so I would say there's about 6 basic things that you should be doing at home. And the best part is, it's not that it's a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to break it down, kind of starting off with your first step and all the way to what you should be doing at the end of the day kind of thing. So I lined the products up, so it's going to be easy for people back home watching it. So the first thing, especially at the end of the night, which is really important for a lot of women, is actually to wash off their makeup.
Oh, so many of us are bad at not doing that.
It is, and even if you do like a single cleanse sometimes, it doesn't actually take off your makeup properly, which is why a lot of clients are getting a lot of breakouts. So what I usually recommend before actually using your cleanser is use a proper makeup remover.
Okay.
Something that has oil in it usually works really well because actually oil attracts oil, and most makeup is actually oil based. So it just gives you a really deep clean without overstripping the skin.
Okay.
The second step is going to be using a cleanser. So water-soluble cleansers are really good to actually get inside the pore. This actually will help prevent against breakouts, which is what most people don't want before their wedding. Cleansers, there's so many different types out there, which is why it's so important to get your skin analyzed just to figure out which cleanser is going to be best for your skin. So I usually say come see someone for that. And then the next step after that is going to be your treatments. So treatments will vary from exfoliant, which is usually done about once to twice a week, depending on your skin, of course, and also what's going on with your skin. The other ones are going to be serums. So serums are going to be high concentrations, usually vitamin C, vitamin A, which are really great for lightening up pigmentation, also to give you that glow right before the wedding. It's nice. You would actually put that right under your moisturizer, just so it penetrates deep.
I know one of the biggest mistakes that brides make is getting a facial right before their big day. So tell us about how much time should be in between the facial and the actual wedding day.
The best part is once you actually know your wedding day, start from there. So if you can give yourself a good year or at least 6 months, that's going to be the best, just because like there's a lot of stuff going underneath the skin that you don't see, and this is going to prevent coming in right before the wedding, getting a treatment, all of a sudden having all those breakouts. So if you can do it at least 3 to 6 months beforehand, it's just going to save you so much time and also less stress for you right before the wedding.
And getting a facial, what exactly does it do to the skin? Because it can be pretty harsh.
Depending on the facial. So most facials now, I would say, are really good because they're not going to leave you feeling dry or dehydrated or making you look red afterwards. Most facials usually will be slightly flushed, but it's a good thing. That's actually your blood circulating, which is good to build up your collagen. So that's why your skin always looks plump after a facial. But most facials now, you should definitely feel more hydrated. You shouldn't have a lot of downtime unless you're getting a peel done.
So we were sitting down with Glamour Dolls earlier, and we were talking about bridal makeup, and it's interesting that makeup goes on so much easier if you take care of your skin. And for some reason, this community, yes, ladies, I'm talking to you, South Asian men and women, we don't seem to put the time and effort in to take care of our skin proactively. We're very reactive. And so what do you suggest as far as the time frame of age? When is a good time? What can you do to be proactive with your skin? Let's talk about sunscreen. Give us some basics.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things which is really important is try to come in to see a person basically that's actually trained for facials. What they'll do is actually analyze your skin to see what's going on, because when you are aging, your skin will change. A lot of people in our community usually have combination skin or oily skin, and once you start to get older, what happens is you're losing your oil production, so your skin's gonna be a lot drier, so you shouldn't be using a lot of the same products.
Okay. So you should switch it up every so often.
I usually say try to switch it up, usually based on the season.
Okay.
Just because in the summertime there's a lot of heat, humidity in the air, so you usually want a lot of mattifying, lighter products on the skin. In the winter time, you want to definitely incorporate more hydration. It prevents the skin from actually feeling dry and tight.
Now, in the Lavish Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle magazine, the previous issue, Amy wrote an article about pigmentation, which is one of the major problems in the South Asian community. So tell our viewers out there who don't exactly know what it is, what pigmentation is and how it affects your skin.
So what pigmentation is it's called hypopigmentation. So it's going to be the dark spots that you see in the face. Women normally will get it usually on the cheeks, a little bit on the forehead, or sometimes it will happen on the full face. A lot of times it is hormonals. A lot of times it is hormones. But actually using sunscreen has actually been proven to actually prevent a lot of the pigmentation now. If it's already too late and you actually have pigmentation, that's when you actually do want to come in, get some microdermabrasions or peels, which are just deep exfoliants. and at home just using proper products like a proper vitamin C and exfoliating at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Why is South Asian skin prone to pigmentation?
It's just part of our genetics, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
So you can't change your genetics, but you can be proactive by using sunscreen. So if you start using sunscreen, at least in your teens and 20s, it will definitely make a big difference once you hit your 30s and 40s.
Now, Amy, I've always wondered about this. A lot of the makeup has SPF in it. Is that sufficient, or do you still recommend that we use a SPF and then use the makeup that has SPF as well, or is that too much?
It depends on your lifestyle. So, and also depends on the season. So most makeups usually only have an SPF 15 to 20, which is fine for most skin types. If you actually have pigmentation, you do need to bump it up to at least a minimum of 30, just to protect your skin and make sure you're not getting more pigmentation. The only thing, whether you're wearing an SPF 15, 50, or even 100, within about 2 hours it will be gone just because you did sweat it off. Which is why you do want to have a separate sunscreen with you to reapply when you're in the sun.
I don't know why I've never gotten into this.
No,
I forget. I don't spend too much time in the sun, but I just feel that in general it's not a major concern for our community, and I don't know why that is.
Well, a lot of people in our community don't always tan a lot. But the thing is, even though if you're not sitting at the beach, you're actually doing errands outside, you're driving, which is a good couple hours a day.
And people don't realize that your skin is still being affected by the sun, right?
It is. Even if you're working indoors, the windows aren't UV protected. So all that UV exposure is coming in, which is how people in our community are actually getting their sun exposure and their pigmentation from.
So speaking of sun exposure on the body, I know we were talking about, you know, facials and what you can do as far as products for your face, but what about for the rest of the body? Do you have any recommendations on particular product types?
Oh, there is. Well, what we have over here is some body products. So what I usually recommend to do at home is about a scrub twice a week.
Okay.
If you really want to intensify and really have soft skin, definitely use like a buffer. So a buffer is just going to have a little bit more grit. It's going to exfoliate and take off a lot of the dead skin, so your skin's going to feel really polished.
Okay.
If you're at a point where you have a lot of buildup, I would say come in and see us. We actually do microdermabrasion on the body.
Do you?
Yeah, it's one of our top things we're doing right now, end of summer.
Wow.
Just because, like, especially if you're working out or if you're in the sun a lot, you have pigmentation on your full body. So microderm is perfect because
that's quite the extensive service, though, to get your whole body microdermabrasion. Oh my goodness!
It's really quick and it's painless. So
okay, that's good to know.
A lot of people love coming in for it.
So what about for men? We've got to show our men some love as far as products are concerned.
There's definitely a lot of products that men can use, and men are lucky because they have a little bit more oil in their skin, and their skin's a little bit thicker, so they don't have to do as much work. But they should actually be cleansing at least and using SPF.
Well, we were talking about this earlier, about how it's like a faux pas in the community for men to come in and get facials and to give their skin some love. And I don't know why it's like that. It's considered to not be so masculine, but you have a lot of men coming into your spa downtown.
We do. We're located right downtown, so we're right by Cole Harbor, so we got a lot of businessmen coming in. And we're also above a hotel, and there's a lot of chain hotels beside us, so we get a lot of men from Europe, LA, the States and stuff. So a lot of men do come in for treatments, and I find they're better actually with their skincare products than women are because they're a creature of habit. So once they start a system, they'll stick with it, which is why their skin looks really amazing. And you can't tell their age when they're in their 30s and 40s, which is awesome.
So do you have any interesting promotions coming up that our viewers can take advantage of?
We do. End of summer, we find a lot of clients have a lot of pigmentation. Like we've had such a gorgeous summer. But the only thing is when you're in the sun, you're going to have pigmentation. Your skin's going to feel definitely dry and tight and rough. So right now we're offering our microderm half off. So it's $60 a session. And we usually recommend just do a package of 4 just to kind of get rid of all
the consistency.
Yes.
Perfect. And so is that just for the face?
It is for the face, but you can definitely bring it down to the body if you notice you have some stuff happening on the neck and the chest and stuff.
So Amy, if our Click Lounge audience wants to get a hold of you at Bare Essential Skin Bar, tell us how to do so.
Our website's a perfect place. It's bareessentialskinbar.com. But as you know, we're really active on social media, so you can definitely find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and our handle is @bskinbar.
Very excited to have Amy part of the show today. She will be joining us for future Click Lounge episodes as our co-host. So please stay tuned for future episodes and don't miss out on the Love Ishq Pyar Wedding and Lifestyle show coming up on Sunday, October 5th at Aria Banquet Hall. For more information, visit loveishqpyar.com. Thank you so much for joining us.